The Oklahoma Sooners got a recent interesting announcement from a four-star top 100 player in the country at the defensive end position, announcing he's going to be taking an official visit to Oklahoma. Here's why it's interesting, because this kid might be committed to somebody a lot of Oklahoma fans do not like. And to take somebody on the defensive side of the ball away from him, that would make a lot of Oklahoma fans extremely excited. But also, we're going to talk about this player because we talked about him in January, and I think it's important that we bring it back up, because if Oklahoma lands this guy, your defensive end room is going to look absolutely elite going into the 2025 recruiting cycle. Before we do that, guys, I need to hear from y'all, so jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts around the official visit announcement from Isaiah Gibson, the four-star defensive end out of Warner Robins, Georgia, coming in at 6'4", a whopping 250 pounds. When you watch Isaiah Gibson's film, which if you guys remember that video in January breaking down the offer, when you watch his film, this dude is extremely explosive off the line of scrimmage, and he gets in the backfield and he absolutely wreaks havoc amongst the quarterbacks and anybody else back there. Total in his career, he's had 57 total tackles, 51 solos. He has 7 sacks. This dude has 24 QB hurries. I just want to say that again, 24 QB hurries. It means he applies that pressure. And he also has 15 tackles for loss. So his best season appears to be his sophomore season. His junior's year, his numbers were a little low, so I kind of wonder if there was an injury there or something that caused those numbers. But you understand why 247 has him ranked as the number 17th player in the country and the 57th overall in the 247 composite. I believe On3 even has him in the 5-star territory as well. So if you look at it, Oklahoma is potentially in the running to flip a 5-star defensive end from the USC Trojans. That's a big deal, because how many times did Lincoln Riley tell the media and everybody else when he left in the middle of the night that you could not recruit elite players to Oklahoma? And wouldn't it be so sweet to take a defensive guy from Lincoln Riley? But looking at this recruitment, I got a chance to actually talk to Isaiah Gibson and really just to ask about it. You know, the relationship with Miguel Chavis is there. It's strong. And Oklahoma's still obviously high up on his list. But, you know, one thing he told Chad Simmons is he's keeping all of his options open, but he remains solid on his pledge to the Trojans. One thing we've talked about with Oklahoma, though, is when you're committed, you're committed. You don't take other visits. And this is why. You can get a top-tier guy committed in your class early, which I'm sure looks good on paper, but trying to keep a guy like that committed throughout the process where all of the other schools are pretty much going to be targeting that kid extremely hard unless the kid completely shuts it down and is not taking any communication from coaches, this is what you end up with. So although Isaiah Gibson says he is committed, he's locked in, it's solid with USC, he's taking OVs. Oklahoma's on that list. Georgia's on that list too, by the way, and he's from the state of Georgia. And you imagine Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs are going to try to keep a potential 5-star defensive end prospect in their state. The other thing here is, looking at the defensive end position, obviously there's a lot of talent out there for Oklahoma, because we've seen the predictions in for CJ Nixon, and we talked about those the other day, the 4-star edge rusher out of Weatherford, Oklahoma. But you've also got Smith Orogbo, which I think a lot of people don't understand exactly where Oklahoma sits in that recruitment. And again, got a chance to follow up with Orogbo on his recruitment. I really hope I'm saying his last name right. So if I'm not, please correct me. But I got a chance to follow up with him. And I mean, really, the thing that stuck out to me is he said it feels like home, right? Norman has a great feeling of home. He does have his official visit scheduled to Oklahoma, but he doesn't know if he's going to be able to get back before then, just because, you know, the schedule might not align up. So the big deal is Oklahoma, they're in the running for elite defensive end prospect who already just landed one in the 2027 cycle after a spring game where your defensive ends actually kind of showed out a little bit. So this is intriguing to me, and I will be watching to see, hey, can Oklahoma potentially go out there, cause some havoc to Lincoln Riley and USC's class? And is Miguel Chavis going to continue to stack this talent up in this room? I think we forget Miguel Chavis has done a really good job since he's been at Oklahoma. But guys, I want to hear from y'all. So make sure you're joining the discussion, jumping down in the comments below. Hey, you know what? And if you made it to the end of the video and you have not already, make sure you hit that like and you're hitting that subscribe button because I want you to be a part of the channel.